Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. It is exactly 8:41 a.m. News and views on Salam Media. We're moving along, and our next guest is based in Malawi. He is Sheikh Dinala Chabulika. He is the Publicity Secretary of the Muslim Association of Malawi, and we're going to be talking about a rather concerning story with the Sheikh. We understand that the Malawian government has ignited the wrath of the country's Muslims over its decision to vote against the United General Assembly resolution calling for a ceasefire in the ongoing genocide on Gaza. And this is not the first time that the Malawian government has taken the stance. Very sadly and shockingly, it is the third time. What on earth is going on with the Malawian government? I guess the big question to ask is, what does the country of Malawi or the president of Malawi gain or benefit from Israel that makes it hate the Palestinians to the extent of celebrating when they are killed? Assalamu alaikum to you and welcome to the program, Sheikh Dinala Chabulika.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, with your du'as, all good. But of course, we can't say the same for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. And we are so pleased that you and the Muslim Association of Malawi are raising this very, very pertinent issue.
Exactly. We are not fine and we are not happy what is happening in the world.
So what sort of response are you getting from the Malawian government? Because there was a very strong article, not the first time, but you are raising, the association, the Muslim Association are raising very, very strong voices in Malawi. And we do also know that Malawi does have quite a large Muslim population. What is the feelings by the rest of the Malawian people, Muslim people, and have you had a response up to now from the Malawian government regarding this matter?
Yes, it's true that it's very sad and it's a disgrace to our country that this is not the first time, as you have said, my sister, that this is maybe the third time, Malawi as a government positioning itself with something that is not normal. I can say that is not normal because there's no way you can support war. There's no way you can support the genocide of women and children who are innocent. They don't know anything about it. So that's why I'm saying it's not normal. And I've done this for the third time. Anyway, I just wanted to give you the background to say this is not the first time as Muslim Association of Malawi, which is the mother body, approaching the government diplomatically. I think the first time we approached the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because I know that's the ministry which is concerned, or I can say the ministry which is which deals with these issues of UN voting and whatsoever. So we approached them diplomatically, and they responded to us to say, no problem, we'll look into that matter. But surprisingly, we see the government is still positioning itself in that different way. So that's why we said, no, I think it's better now we tell the truth to say, our concern, sister, is not the relationship which is there between Malawi government and Israel. No, that's not our concern. Our concern is the supporting of genocide, the Palestinian genocide, the supporting of the killing of women and children, because the whole Africa, it's only our country which is doing that. And yet the government doesn't want to consult. Democracy, it's about consultation. I don't think if Malawians were to be asked to say, which one are you going to choose, whether to continue the war or not, Malawian definitely will go for peace. So that's our concern. But you see, it's very unfortunate what is happening. but would try to talk to government, because we are the citizens of this country. We are not happy. It's a disgrace to our country. The whole Africa cannot be, Malawi cannot be the only country which is more intelligent than other countries. That cannot be happen. Yes.
Absolutely. We also understand that you're planning a march to raise this issue. And you're asking the question, you're hoping that government will sit up and now take notice by way of this march. When is it going to happen? And what's the feeling of fellow Muslims and fellow Malawians in the country? Do you believe the march is going to be very well supported?
About the march, sister, I don't want to comment more, because I'm the spokesperson for the Muslim Association of Malawi, which is the mother body, and this organization is organizing the march. It's a small organization which deals with the human rights. So the ones who are organizing them, I don't have much information. I don't want to comment on that, because our policy as MAM, as a mother body, is to contact and dialogue. And this is what we have started, talking to government. And I know very soon we are going to engage the government, including the leadership, to look into this matter. It's a serious matter. And we as citizens of this country, not only Muslims, even Christians, I tell you, even Christians, they are not happy with the position that our country is positioning itself on this matter.
In December last year, Malawi as a country received widespread condemnation after it abstained on another UN vote to call for the ceasefire in Gaza. And despite that, the government continues to side, or rather will not abstain, or rather not vote regarding the situation. Earlier on, I asked you the question if you have received any response from the government at all. Have you? And if not,
Yes.
What's your next step forward?
Yes, you are right. When we contacted them, of course, they promised us that they look into that matter. But I said, surprisingly, they still positioning itself with Israel and on this matter, genocide of the Palestinian brothers and sisters. What they have done, or what they have said so far, is that they are going to come up with a statement, of which we are waiting to see the response from the government. But I can assure you, you see, we are all human beings. Whatever response they're going to give us, but I don't think that is going to be the foreign policy, the real foreign policy of this country. I see somebody having an interest on this, his own personal interest, not the country. Because I already told you that democracy is about consultation. If indeed this country is serious, they were supposed to consult Muslims, they were supposed to consult citizens of this country to say, look, they are asking us A, B, C, D, what are we going to do? But they're not doing that. They're not consulting, which means it's a person benefiting out of this. It's a personal benefit. It's not the country. We are not benefiting out of this. And it's disgrace, as I told you. Yeah.
Well, we're going to leave it there for now, but we will be talking with you in the future, hopefully soon, for you to share with us what your government stance is now going forward. And if it is found that the government is benefiting in a personal capacity, do you believe that do you believe that as Malawians, you could put pressure on him?
You see, one thing they should not forget is that, yes, maybe today they may not need us, but tomorrow they will need us. We are Muslims. We are 4 or 5 million in this country. They may not need us today, but tomorrow they will need us. And as a country, we need also to take a role to make sure we develop this country, to make sure we work hard so that this country should be developed. So we are we have got a role to play. So I think we need each other. It's very important to look this matter seriously. That's the way it's finished with.
I'm wondering how the Muslim community in Malawi felt and responded to the fact that here in South Africa, uh, we took the case of the genocide by apartheid Israel to the ICJ and the ICC. And I think that is hugely commendable. And the majority of the people here in South Africa are not Muslim. We number perhaps 2 million of a total population of 60 million, if not more. And yet, our country, South Africa, has taken that very, very bold step. And the Palestinian people are aware of what in the way in which South Africa is supporting them. Perhaps this is a question that needs to be put to your government to show him the stark differences between Malawi and South Africa.
You see completely there's a difference, and it's very sad and it disgraces. We are just neighbors. But you see, look what South Africa is doing. Commendable, very commendable. Not only to Malawi, but the whole world. We are really proud of South Africans. The stand that South Africans have taken, it's human. Because they know people in Palestine, they are also human beings. But I don't know what's wrong with our government. But as Malawians, definitely we are commending South Africa that they have taken a very commendable stand, and we'll keep on supporting South Africa because that's human. We need peace in the Middle East.
And obviously, when we talk about supporting the Palestinian issue, it's not only Palestinian Muslims that we are supporting. There are Christians, exactly. a big, a large Christian population in Palestine as well. Coming back to your situation in Malawi and the the steps you've taken to engage with the Malawian government on this matter, do you believe that you as an individual and the Muslim Association of Malawi might receive some sort of backlash from the government, that you might be putting yourselves and the association in danger by confronting the government on this issue?
No, I don't think so. We are in a democratic society, and the government believes in democracy. So I don't think they will take an action on this, because we are advising the government that it's human not to support the continuation of the war, and that people who have been killed in Palestine, they're also human beings, women and children, innocent people. So advising the government on this issue, I don't think there's something that government will not be happy and say, why Muslims? Because the issue here, it's not about Muslims. The issue here, it's about human rights. That is why there are even organizations in Malawi which are not Islamic, but they support. Last time we had a march together with the Christians and Muslims. And this is the misconception some of the Christian brothers and sisters they have in Malawi. They think the war in Gaza, it's about, it's between Muslims and Christians. It's not like that. We have got Christians in Palestine. So we'll keep on civic educating people to say, this is not about the region, it's about human rights. So I hope some of them will understand. But as I said earlier on, that this is not a foreign policy for the government. But somewhere, someone is benefiting out of this. Because we are not consulted. We just hear they have voted this. We just hear that, but we are not consulted. If we were to be consulted in this country, no any Malawian will say the war should continue in Palestine.
To end off, let's ask this question. If the government doesn't respond to the calls by the Muslim Association of Malawi, if they don't respond and if they just ignore trying to, ignore your association and just not give you a response whatsoever, what would be your next step?
I think we'll look into that when we cross the bridge. That's what we can say. Well, when we cross the bridge, we'll look into that. But for the time being, we are sure they are going to respond to our queries. We're going to respond. They're going to respond to our concern. I'm sure we have got a listening government, and they look into it. and they will not take it lightly.
Okay, we will inshallah catch up with you at a later date to find out how your government has responded to the Muslim Association of Malawi and regarding this issue of supporting Israel. Well, not the Muslim Association, but your government supporting Israel. So we will catch up with you at a later date. Thank you indeed for talking to us, and Jazakallah so much from one Muslim to another for
Jazakallah khair
holding
for
the
talking to
flag.
us. Jazakallah. Well, let us keep on praying for our brothers and sisters in Palestine, inshallah.
Amin Tuma Amin. And that, of course, was Sheikh Dinala Chabulika, Muslim Association of Malawi. And he is the publicity secretary, talking about the Malawian government seeming to be on the side of Israelis. And, of course, always for the third time in a row has been voting against a ceasefire in that part of the world. We are going to be talking in a minute or two with human rights defender and convener of the Save Our Sacred Lands campaign, and that, of course, is Torik Jenkins. But we're very, very close to 9 o'clock. So let's take our 9 o'clock ad break, and also to remind one and all that from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, the second hour of the show, News and Views on Salam Media, is sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond.
Salam